everyone, so today I'm going to show you how I created automatic invoices utilizing Airtable and Aeropage. So if you don't know already, Aeropage is a completely free tool that was relatively new and allows us to do certain integrations with images and PDFs, emails, all utilizing our Airtable data. So I'm going to go ahead and jump right into it. Here I am on my Aeropage dashboard. I'm going to go ahead and select image generator. Now you might think that I would utilize a PDF maker for an invoice, but the PDF maker within Aeropage allows you to place things within your Airtable base kind of in a column layout, where image generator allows me to drag and drop and place kind of anything within my base wherever I want on the page. Image generator does allow you to do an output as well as a PDF, so that's why I'm going this route. So I'm going to go ahead and click image generator. We're going to create a new design. I'll just call this invoice. Now it's going to have me link my Airtable account. I'm going to go ahead and paste it in there. Let it connect. All right, now that it's connected, we can go ahead and start designing. I'm going to let it load. I'm going to change my image size. I don't want a square. Let's see what our options are here. We can just go ahead and choose a letter size. So now it's automatically the size that I want. I'm going to zoom out on my screen a little bit. You can see here from my record picker, I can select anything that's within this view from the URL that I gave it. So the next thing I want to do is, again, I'm creating an invoice, right? So I'm going to want certain data on here. I'm going to want the invoice number, the pricing, what are we, invoicing for. So within Aeropage, you could go ahead and you could add components and images and text. I personally like to design the base or the background structure or whatever I'm doing in Canva. I like the design component of Canva and I've just become accustomed to it. So I've gone ahead and already created a templated invoice within Canva. As you can see, it's kind of just a generic invoice of what I'm going to be looking for. I am going to change a couple things on here. Let's say listing coordination and escrow coordination for information I'm pulling from my base. So this allows me to see what I want my invoice to look like. Now, for me, as like a double check, what I'll do is I'll duplicate this page, and now I'm going to delete anything that I intend to bring in from Aeropage. So that might be my invoice number. So I'm going to delete that. I'm going to leave my item descriptions, but let's get rid of my pricings and my total. And I think we're good there. So from here, I'm going to download this as an image. And in order to put it on the background page of Aeropage, I need it hosted somehow, right? So Imager is a great tool to do that. It's completely free. So I'm going to go to Imager. I'm going to do a new post. I'm going to put the image I just downloaded right in there. Now from here, once it's uploaded, I'm just going to right click. I'm going to copy my image address. Let's go back to Aeropage. So now on my components, I'm going to add an image. My source is that URL I just copied. I'm going to say we're going to go max width and max height. So now you can tell that's a complete 8.5 by 11 design, and that's exactly what I want. So I'm going to go ahead now and map in data from my Airtable base. So again, we had said invoice number, right? Well, in my case, that could be a property address. That could be a real estate agent. You could utilize the record ID. Let's go ahead and bring in the record ID. And let's say that that's our invoice number. Just going to go ahead and place it right there. All right, now from my base, I also have my listing fees and my escrow fees and my totals. So these are the fields that I want to find. And I'm going to bring into Aeropage. So listing coordination, let's again add a text and let's find that field. Now you can see it comes across as a number. Now I want to format this. I'm going to add a $sign in front of it. In my use case, I don't have dollar or cents and pennies, so I'm just going to go ahead and end that. And let's bump up the size just a little bit. Align it to my right and bring it right here. All right, let's go ahead. I'm just going to copy this. I'm going to duplicate it, but I'm going to change the field of which we're bringing in. So instead of my listing fee total, I'm going to bring in my escrow fee. Again, I think it deleted the $sign right in front of it. So in this case, $0. If I wanted to do a conditional formatting, I could say if this was 0, go ahead and hide that, right? All right, now that I have my 2 fees in there, I'm going to duplicate one last time. And let's bring in the grand total. Again, find that field in my base. There we go. So my invoice is now created. Go ahead and I can publish this. If I want, I can see what this looks like online. I can also go in here to my settings and I can say, what is my export mode? Is this an image or is this a PDF? So I'm going to go ahead and switch to PDF. Now I need to get it to actually go into my base. So the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to set up an automation. And for me, it's going to be with a click of a button. I want to be able to say generate invoice and then have that document go into it. So I'm going to go back into my base. You can see I already have my create invoice button. It's just a checkbox and I have an attachment field for my invoice. So I'm going to go to automations now. And for create invoice, I'm going to say when a record is updated. And that field I'm looking for is my create invoice. You could also say when a record matches conditions, right? When create invoice is checked, whatever it may be. Next, I'm going to create my action. And we're going to update our record. We're going to do it from our properties table. Record ID is the one that we just brought in. And the field we are updating is attachments. So from here, I'm going to bring in the URL of my Aeropage design. So I'm going to go up here to my settings and I'm going to say copy sharing link. We're going to go back to our automation. In attachments, I'm going to paste that URL link. You can see it ends in a backslash, and I'm going to add an item here. I'm going to add my Airtable record ID. So what that's doing is the Aeropage has a generalized link for your design, and then each time you switch a record, it ends with that record ID. So as I go through and I pick different properties or designs, that ending slash will change each and every time. So by doing it through our automations, when I update it, it will go into it. So let's go ahead, we'll turn this on. That is it here. So now if I go into, we'll utilize our test street 7058 Olive, and I say create invoice, our automation is going to run on the back end. There you go. So now you can see I have an attachment field of my invoice. I can download this, can open it up as a PDF. Now, one thing, I'm going to take this one step further. I'm not a fan that the title of this document is my record ID. That's a really long name. I'm going to have to rename it probably when I send it via an email or anything like that. So I'm going to add to my automation one more time. And I'm going to run a script. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a script that's going to rename my PDF once it's been uploaded. So I'm going to put this script in here, coming from the right table. Let's add our variables. And what do I want my new name to be? Let's just call it implement invoice. All right, so we're going to finish editing that and we're going to update it. Let's go back. Let's utilize 31 First Street. So here it's bringing in the Aeropage design, then it's taking that and it's renaming it. Now when I click on it, you can see it's called Implement Invoice. So now when I download it, it will have that name as well. So I could name it if I wanted to, you know, Implement Invoice dash that address, whatever it may be. I can bring in the data from my Airtable base. So that is a very simple way to bring in an invoice or a PDF attachment. Again, this could be a PDF, it could be a JPEG. From here, I can put that into another automation. I can put that in an email, whatever it may be. Super simple, very quick to do with an Aeropage. And again, the program's completely free, so you can't really beat that. If you've got any questions or any ideas that you want implemented, please feel free to reach out.